I love the action. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I am Amanda.
I'm Amanda. I'm also Amanda this time.
I'm Natalie.
And this is episode 20. And you're listening to But Is It a Crisis? And this is my time. And I'm actually going to dwell on that. But is it a crisis? Because I am feeling maybe midlife crisis is hitting me. I don't know if it's because I'm perimenopause, if my period's due, if my son's getting older, all the things. However, I'm feeling it. I just want to reinvent myself. I want to be a different person. And I'm trying to be calmer on top of all of this chaos in my head. But that's a normal ADD for me. High functioning ADHD. So let's go into this a little bit. Mm-hmm. My son last week got his permit. And I'm happy, super happy. Like, wow, yes, good job. However, I'm like, oh my God, that means my kid's gonna be driving. Yeah. And then my kid's gonna be driving. My kid's gonna be leaving. Then my kid's gonna be going on. They're gonna get married. And then what happens to me? Right? Like, my whole life is my kids, my little besties. Oh. And then I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get a little nervous. I'm really starting to get nervous. But then again, I'm turning 42. So by the time this airs, I will be 42. I thought midlife crisis was more around 40, not 42, but is it a crisis?
No, you're in that. I think that between 40 and 45 is where we start. Actually, it started a little earlier for me. I would say like around late 30s was when I started to feel like, I don't know, not enough, like, or not right, or more, or whatever it was. It was a feeling of like, okay, now what? And what's next? And so I think I think between like maybe 38 to like 44, 45 is like when you start to, if you are going to have it, I guess it's like around that time, which is why I think it's also the age that a lot of people get divorced. A lot of people change careers. A lot of people decide to pivot. A lot of people decide to move in that age range. At least that's what I feel.
I think that it's about the fallacy of an abundance of time falling away. And wherever you are in life where that fallacy starts to fall away is where I think you start to question everything. Because when you're young, you just feel like everything takes forever. Like you have all of this time and you can do all of the things. And then at some age, stage, whatever, you start realizing, I'm running out of time. Yeah, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do that? And then what's going to happen when, and instead of just kind of being in your life and living through the motions, you start like almost counting down. Like, okay, if I decide that I'm going to change a job, I have like 5 more years to do this thing. Or if I want to go back to school and do I have enough time? I'm going to be able to start over. Now, again, that was a fallacy to begin with, right? Like we always had a finite amount of time, and even this idea that you're going to live to be old isn't real,
right? And it's a luxury.
And so, really, like, do whatever the hell it is you want at whatever age you want to do it, and if you run out of time, it's because you're dead. And so
nothing matters at that point anymore. But then it does though, because if something does happen to me, to my kids, did I do a good job? Do they feel like do they know that I love them and that they're going to be able to carry on? Are they going to be able to like move forward? It's a little bit scary. I think maybe it is a death thought a little bit, right? Like, so it's taken us forever to get to this point where we are now, right? At 40, all the things we've done, all the things we've accomplished. It's not, I think numbers are, it's not really like 40. If I did live to say 40, like this is midlife and I'm going to 84, that's a hell of a long time, right?
Long time.
Mm-hmm. But then again, like look at a lot of these people who aren't really healthy, who aren't really doing well, who are immobile and, you know, not able to walk or do things. Or
I just watched this video of these 2 94-year-old little ladies who were being interviewed about their workout routine. They were in a gym and they were saying how like they go every day together and they do their little feet presses for their leg strength, and they do their little pushes, and they just do like maybe 5 machines and they walk for half an hour. And they were so, and I don't want to sound derogatory, they were so lucid, like it wasn't even hard for them. They just sounded like maybe they were in their 70s. They were just talking like normal. They're like, yeah, we come here every day and we do our thing. And then they said they were 94. And I was like, holy wow, that's fantastic.
And that's incredible to think that if we feel like we have lived so much now at 40, imagine if we lived to 94. for 80, whatever it is. It's like we still have half of a life left to live.
Yes. And all the things, right? We accomplished all the schooling, all the kids, all the, I'm on my second marriage, right? Like I've changed jobs. And that's another thing I'm struggling with too. It's like, I switched jobs. I working my butt off with less reward than I've had previously. It was more instant gratification. But again, I had work to get to that point also. It wasn't something that, so I'm in the right process, but I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm almost tired, right? Like, I feel like I should be enjoying a little bit more, whereas I'm like stressed now about things. Like, why are we making these crazy decisions? And is it like, should I be at this age? Like, right? Like, again, like I'm feeling like I'm a little older. I recently was asked to apply for a job, and now I'm like, why would I want to change again, right? Like, why would I want to obstruct my life or cause more stress for something that I'm not sure about again?
Right. I saw another interview. There's a lot of interviews on the internet with like really old people that I tend to run into, and they were saying like, what would you have done as a job differently if you could have changed things? And the lady was, I want to say, in her 80s, and she was like, oh, if I was young again, I would have been a singer, like I had wanted to. She's like, but that was, if I was like in my 50s, then I could like do something like that. And I'm like,
In your
to her,
50s.
if she was still young enough in her 50s, she would have changed to a singer, because she had that's 30 years from where she was at. And so again, it's all fake. Like if
It's
right
all
now,
perspective. I
Yeah.
feel like we are only 40, and then in our minds we're like, oh my god, we're 40,
right?
Yeah.
and it's like
40 I don't think is big, but like
40 is big.
42,
No.
50 is big. Like, you know what I mean? I'm on my way to 50. Like I'm creeping up.
Bro, you're
now.
not there
I
yet.
know. And then hearing Michael is always like, I'm almost 50. And he's obviously 5 years older, but I'm like, you're not 50 to him. But then I'm like, oh my God, that means I'm almost 50 too.
Right. I mean, if you are
God willing.
blessed, you are going to be 50 one day, and that's
Mhm.
wonderful.
It is.
Like
It is a good thing. I mean, it's a privilege denied to many to age.
But it also gives you an opportunity, like you're having this moment, to question, are you setting yourself up for success as you age? Are you doing all the things to treat yourself well so that you will be mobile when you're older?
Yes.
I know that's a big fear for you in your experiences in life with your family and all of those things, that you want to make sure you're mobile, you're capable, all those. So just make sure you do the things that help you do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing every morning with my supplements and our vibration plates, right? I feel like we are more intentional with the things that we're doing. And then I was like, wait, is it all these things, or is it because the holidays are over? And, there's such a big deal in the holidays, right? Like there's so much happiness and so many things and so many parties. And now it's like,
The letdown.
yeah, the letdown. And then now what do we do, right? Like
Right.
now it's all like my house is not filled anymore. There's really not much to look forward to as much, And then
Right.
I'm like, oh God, it's like I'm 42, and then I gotta start planning my birthday, my son's birthday. It's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
I feel, and then I bring back to like, okay, as women, we're doing it all, right? Like all the things that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was wishing that I could be a man. Like
She went through the whole process.
Yeah.
There is nothing on this planet that would ever make me want to be a man.
Not even a
Really?
little bit. Not even a little bit. There's
no.
never been a day, not for 3 minutes. Nope.
Oh, no, that runs through
No.
my mind pretty regularly. Like, gosh, if I had just been a guy, like how much less stress. Like they don't even
No.
No.
I think of like
I
how much.
love being a woman. I love it
Yeah.
so much to the core of my being.
I think of like how much more credit we would get
Yeah.
for certain things if we were men, but I don't ever then follow that with like, oh, I would love to be a man. Like, no, I'm like,
I think I'd be a good man.
we would get so much more credit, and then I'm like, God, they're so dumb.
Yeah.
No,
I
it would
mean,
make
I
me
would make-
dumber.
I would
no.
make a great. I feel like I'd be a great
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah,
I'm fantastic, but I don't want to be one.
Right.
No,
right.
no. There's nothing that would make.
But
me
you
want
would only make a great man because you have a woman's brain.
True.
Like you as a man would just be a man.
Yeah. Just-
True.
You know.
I'd be a good.
I mean,
I
you'd be a
think so,
sexy
too.
man.
Like, I
You'd be
would-
a sexy man.
I would know what to do, right? I'd be pimping hoes.
I tried
like,
that filter that makes you look like the opposite gender, and I would do crazy things for myself. I jump over fences and like do all kinds of yes. That was that name.
Yeah.
It's more than the looks, though. It's right, like
It's
I
the
guess
energy.
the energy,
Yeah.
the vibe. Right? I guess
Yeah.
being a man, you're right. I wouldn't be the man that I'm thinking I would be because I would be a man and I would just wake up and go to work, right? Like there's be nothing in between. Like I was talking to Michael, I was like, how nice is it? Like, did you just always have coffee? Like, there's never, not once have you not had coffee, right? Like everything just shows up for you. Like how great is that,
Right,
But
right.
Yeah.
all the things, toilet paper is always there, right? Like you don't have to worry about going to the store, which we just talked about in my last episode, how I love so much.
I was having that conversation with a dog mom just a few days ago because I was saying how she was talking about certain things about guilt wise and like things that she does for the dog. And I'm like, it's so funny how women's brains are wired that way. Like, regardless of if it's a dog or a kid or whatever, like this idea of guilt. And I brought up the example that you had given of like, if I was doing all the things that I'm doing and I'm feeling like I'm not hitting the mark and I'm not doing a good enough job, but if I were a man, people would be giving me an award
Like,
for like, you're an amazing dad. This is the best dad I've ever seen. And I'm like, it's an internal thing that we do to ourselves of like, am I, and I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's biological and that's what like makes us be caretakers. I don't know.
DNA.
It's also probably societal, but again, if she's doing it with a dog, like there's not a societal thing for that. So I was like, I don't know.
The craziest thing I would get when I traveled for work was when they would find out I had Aiden, they'd be like, oh, but who watches your son?
His dad?
His dad. Oh, his dad watches him. That's so nice of him.
Babysits him. His dad babysits him?
I'm like, that's his parent. And he, like, Virgil would get so upset, would be like, I'm his father. Like, I'm not the babysitter. I'm not a care. Like, I'm his dad.
Right.
But yeah, it would always be that way. Now, if it were the opposite, like if he had to travel for
They
work,
wouldn't even ask.
Yeah. Oh, it's with the mom. Like,
Yeah.
What?
Right.
They wouldn't ask.
No, they wouldn't even ask. They
No.
would just assume. That is so. I've seen this more and more now too, because it's like as women, the questions that we get asked, like especially in relation to kids, right? Like there was so much expectations on us and such a limited. However, I do feel like men have, especially in roles of paternity, they have taken a bigger stance. They are more involved, right? I remember seeing, they come home from work and they're just putting their feet up while the women, but then again, we didn't work then, right? So it's like, would I mind coming home, because I'm, we're literally doing all the things,
right?
The carpooling and the full-time jobs and making the house managers, like all the freaking things. And I do have a lot to be thankful for. So I'm not complaining. Just sometimes I feel overwhelmed.
But I feel like what you're talking about too is kind of like you're at both sides of the spectrum of you're overwhelmed, but you're having a moment like looking over the other side of the cliff of like, what am I going to do when all this goes away?
Gone. Yes.
Yeah.
It's true, because I was just talking to another mom. That's probably what happened. Her kids have recently left. Like they're gone to college, and she's like, you're going to miss this. Your house is going to be so quiet. And I've been like really looking forward to having a quiet house, right? Like, okay, finally, again, I can, be naked in my own house. Like I haven't had, the luxury of being in my own house without any kids for a while now. I guess that's normal. But when you go through a divorce and then you have your own, going through the divorce, I had a lot of my own free time. And I remember someone telling me you're going to miss it. And I was like, no, I want to be married again. And so into it. But now I'm like, wow, like those moments, I don't have anymore. I don't have it until they're gone. But it is scary for me because I am so involved with the kids. I feel like most of my life is revolving around them. And then like the other day, so it's another thing why I was upset. So Michael and I had plans, and then which I had plans too, but I stopped my plans because I wanted to hang out with him. I wanted to do what, okay, he wants to hang out with me. Let's have that date night. He decided like literally 10 minutes, he's got to work. Date night gone. And I had just canceled my whole plans to be with him to decide, I gotta work. Like not even considering, but, and then he's like, why are you upset? And I'm like, he's like, why would you cancel your plans? Like,
but I feel like that's something that women do way more than men do.
And
like all of their plans outside of their family life, I feel are tentative based off of a change with their family. And they will say like, I'm just going to forego this thing. And the men will never do that. They will tell you, but no, I told you every Saturday I play basketball with my friends.
Right.
And I'm going to go play basketball with my friends. Whereas you'll be in a new relationship with a guy and you might have done yoga every weekend with your girlfriends. And then all of a sudden the guy doesn't even know that you do this.
Mhm.
Right. And he's like, hey, on Saturdays, do you want to start going for a run every morning? And you're like, oh, okay, I totally will. Hey friends, I don't think I'm gonna
Sorry.
make yoga, and you'll do it. And it's not even the guy's fault. Like he said, why would you cancel your plans? He didn't ask you to, but something in us will do it. And I don't know why, and I hate that. And I'm like, no, I'm going to the thing. I'm not canceling anything.
Well, because depends on where we are in our life. We want to prioritize that romantic relationship.
I get it.
I think that in my whole life, I've always, and I see that in my kids too, and it kind of irritates me because I'm like, you're making plans with this guy, or like, we were gonna go on a trip with one of my stepdaughters, and she, her boyfriend didn't want to, and I was like, now you're not even with this guy, and we could have had this moment with you because now you're not even here with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing the same thing,
You are.
with my friends,
Yeah.
and even my company, like I do it for pleasure because she's my best friend. I get to go see her and stay with her in Tampa. However, I also make it a work thing. And I kind of stopped all that just because he wanted to hang out. And I was like, oh, I'd rather, I do want to hang out with, I'd rather hang out with him.
Yeah, there's this whole thing on social media about decentering men. And like every trend, it takes a negative turn into like, well, now you hate men. And
Right.
it has nothing to do with that. It's literally decentering men. Like,
Right.
the men in your life are not the center of your life. Like, they are a part or an extension of your life, regardless of what type of relationship that is. And I say that even as a boy mom. Obviously, my son is my world, but it's also knowing that if I have things going on, it's not, how can I say it? Like, you still have to have your things happening. And if you have a date with your friends, or if you have a date with yourself, don't change those plans just because this person wants to do something else. Like, obviously, as a boy mom, if you get sick, I have to cancel. But in that instance, like, if you already had plans, then I already have plans. We can have date night tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know?
that's what I think I feel bad about, is because I know that. Like, I know I should have gone, or maybe internally I didn't want to go, or maybe I was like hoping that he wanted to hang out with me because it makes me feel better about, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Made me feel better. But it does. And then it's just, and then I feel too, like, it seems like we used to have a lot of things. Like, I see in our memories, we used to do all the things together. We don't do as much,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like there's a lot of changes that have happened in my life. And I don't know if I'm the part of it, or if I'm not intentional. I just think like there's a lot of internal struggles I'm going through right now.
I think also that all of those things feed you, right? The friend time, the kid time, the spouse time. And when you skew it too much one way, you're not getting all the things that you need. And then you get resentful that these groups are not filling that gap when it was never their function to fill that gap. And I think the important thing is just recognizing that it's happened, and you get to decide if you want to do it differently. If you want to call me next week and be like, hey, let's do dinner.
Yeah.
If you want to decide that you want to go do with it, like, just
we used to have our lunches too, right? Like, and we don't do that anymore too. And
work wise, that's really hard for me at this point. But that's
what are you getting into now?
no.
Oh.
Like I it's really hard for me to leave the computer today.
Gotcha.
With the way that my role is.
So things change,
right? But
dinner.
Your availability time was always based on times where your spouse or your kids were not available.
Yes.
And so now you get to decide if you want to take some of that time where they are available and do something that you enjoy that doesn't include them. And talking about going into a space where your whole life isn't your kids, I think it's probably important to have some of those routines in place that is time for you heading down that road, because I feel like where a lot of people end up, where the kids leave and it's just emptiness.
Right.
And you're like,
now what?
right.
Yeah.
And you don't have you don't have your little knitting crafting
Yes,
friends,
that's
or you don't
another
have
thing. I
your
was
all
just
that.
going to that. I was like, you know what? I'm not even doing the things that I used to do. Not only not hanging out with you or my friends or it's more so like I used to do, classes, right? So I had the boxing classes or, also I would do the yoga. I had a little bit more going on for myself. And I think I do now that I've been working, I had a lot more free time before. Now that I'm working, I feel like, my time is not as available as it once was. And then when I'm not doing something that I had planned for and I'm sitting there, I'm kind of feeling bad. Like, okay, now I just lost time. But then I did get to read my book and I got to relax and take a bath, stuff like that, whereas, it's a little bit more of a luxury. But I feel like I'm not maximizing because I feel like maybe gonna only have a little bit of time left, or not a little bit of time because 40 years is a long time, right? So, but I feel like I need to maximize more of my time.
So treat yourself like a job. Treat yourself like the commitment that you have to something outside of yourself. Like the same way that you show up to work, the same way you show up for your kids, you are that. You are your job. So if you have a class that you want to take, it's a non-negotiable. Like just because someone else wants to do something during that time, no, I'm sorry, I'm already committed to something else. I think that this is allowing you that space to realize that you are not happy where you are right now. You know what I mean? That's why you're contemplating changes or you're thinking of like ahead, because at your present, I don't think that you are fulfilling yourself or you're living, like you said, to your maximum potential. So you have to find the things that you really are going to enjoy that are not going to make you look so forward to the future, because it sounds like a lot of anxiety too.
Yeah, well, and so I stopped my anxiety medicine. So
we should have started with
We
that.
just got to the solution. We literally just now.
I stopped
Episode
both of my
over.
anxiety medicine. So I definitely think my body is being tricked again. So that's why I was like, contemplating, right? And I know my cycles do. And I always go, I feel like, have you guys watched the reels where it's like week 1, how women feel,
Yes.
week 2, week 3?
Yeah.
So I can totally relate because right now I'm like, oh my God. Like last night, I don't even know what I was watching, but it could have been a cat and I was about to cry. And I'm like, you're not soft. Get it together, girl, right? But then I was like, but I am soft. I'm just so girl,
But they're all valid questions to ask. You were going through that last year, I feel like.
You got a big change, and you're going through big changes again.
Huge,
But I feel like you're much more certain in this season of change than you were last year when you were just feeling like, what am I doing? It was the same sentiment. And so I think they're always valid questions to ask, and it doesn't need to be at your midlife. It could be in another 3 years when you're going through a next transition and saying, well, what do I want this next step to look like?
Yeah, I also think you're feeling like a loss of control. You're losing time. You're losing your kid because he's growing up. So it's a lot of loss of control and that's what's triggering your anxiety. So I think that if you bring some control back into your life with things that you are able to control, my big thing this year is don't allow things you can't control to control you, but control the things you can. So things that you can control is carving out time for you, for yourself. So I think that that's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's true. That's why. Thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, I fluctuate because and then this part stresses me out about coming to the podcast and having to have a title and sticking to it because there's so many things that I want to talk about all the time. Like that's why I do miss our lunches because I feel like it wasn't just a topic, right? We were so random and we used to just laugh about everything. Now I feel like it's a little bit more structured.
But this
was like structure.
But this was a topic. Like there's a difference between not having a topic and being unprepared. And you knew like the feelings and the thoughts and the things that you wanted to talk about going into this. It doesn't have to be narrowed. It just has to have it has to have a base in reality, something that you care about. Like don't just
fake it till you make it, baby.
Chat GPT, like something the ladies are talking about because it doesn't come off well. Like nobody wants to listen to shit. Yeah. They want to listen to you say like, I'm having a crisis right now. My son is driving and I don't know what to do with my free time and he's gonna drive away from me and I don't know if he's ever gonna come back.
In a nutshell, that's how I feel.
Literally,
all those other things. Yes, I'm so happy like they're growing up and I get to be there for them. And I got into like a little rabbit hole where I started going through all the old videos, right?
Man.
Yes. And
oh my goodness. When it hits you with the memories.
Yes.
It's like you're sitting, you're perfectly calm, and then all of a sudden they send you like a little compilation of videos of when they were in diapers, and you're like, oh my god.
And then I don't record them as much as I used to. And I'm like, oh my god, I need to start recording again. And then it goes like literally down a rabbit hole of all the things that I feel like we're doing.
But you care, and that's the price we pay for caring, is that we feel like we could be doing more, or that we're not doing enough because we care so much about being a good mom, and being a good spouse, or being a good friend, or being a good whatever, that we stress about not being good enough at any of those things. So,
but if we were a dad, no, I'm just kidding.
But also the change doesn't necessarily mean like the end of the relationship. Like it just changes. So for instance, also you have some backups, right? So as Landon's leaving, you got Layla, then you got Lily and all that stuff. But like once he goes to college, then he's gonna call you and ask you about like, how does the toaster work? Like that Jaden calls or he'll send me recipes and he'll be like, Mom, do you think I can make this with whatever else? Or he like showed up to the house yesterday. He's like, can I use your drill? And I was just like, okay, take the drill, man. So it's just a different relationship, and I see him less, and other people and things fill his life way more. But
that sounds heartbreaking to me right now.
it does, it does feel a certain way, but you can also still be intentional about being a family. Like we went on vacation and he still came. It's not like just because he's in love with us, he's just not there anymore. Like he's always gonna be there.
Yeah, I do feel like, because the two girls have left and they are very distant, and I've distanced myself too. So it's not just them in any ways. I finally let that. I guess you go through this, right? But it's also like, wait. We were all together for the past 6 years of our life. Like, how is this okay?
And it might just be for now. Like when I first left my mom's house, it wasn't in the best circumstance. And there was a period of a couple of years that we didn't have very much to do with each other. And then
now you're trapped.
Everybody grew up and we came back. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're still here, you get to make those movements. And sometimes it's better that you don't force it for this season, so that you can realize that you missed certain things and certain things mattered, and then you come back in a healthier way.
That's true. I like that.
Are you nervous about
I know all your changes.
Aiden getting into that season?
I mean, Aiden is very much a living room kid.
Uh-huh.
Like when I say living room, I mean if he could sit on top of me, he would. Like I have a huge couch. It's basically like a bed. And he will be right here, the whole couch. And sometimes, like recently, he's in like little group chats where they FaceTime each other. And he has, transitioned to being a bedroom kid at times. And I'm like, oh. But then when he's here, I'm like, I need space.
I can't breathe.
But yeah, of course, I think it makes everyone nervous, especially now that he's going to have a sibling. I wonder what that dynamic is going to be like, and if he's going to want to be at his dad's house more because, he has a sibling over there. But I'm his mom.
I know.
Like
that cannot change.
I'm his mom. I dropped him off at his dad's house, and he called me like 20 minutes later. Mom, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he started telling me about everything that happened in the last 20 minutes. I'm like, baby, I just dropped you off.
It's been 20 minutes.
Right.
So,
yes, right. I went through that whole thing of like being almost jealous of him having another figure there as like, I'm not ready to say maternal, but someone there that, is father's partner. But I'm his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm always going to be his mom. I'm the person that he's always going to tell the most embarrassing things to.
Yeah.
And
with no shame.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like.
They're like, Mom, what size underwear do I wear?
Yeah.
Right, literally. Yeah, I know. I just,
aww.
Yeah, they're so cute. And it just seems like, there's, it's a lot of changes and a lot of transitions. And I don't know if I'm really ready for it. I'm going to rock and roll with it because I have no other choice. And I'm thankful. Yeah. But it's kind of like, my original stepdaughter, she's, big girl now. She's got a big girl job. It's everything's just changed. And it's, I'm really trying to hold on a little bit to the baby memories, right? Like, they were so nice and sweet when they were babies, Now it's like,
they're people. They're
almost assholes.
But you're going into a season that is not fun.
No,
like you got to come out the other. You got to. I mean, I think it's better to think about coming out of the other side versus going backwards, because you can't go backwards.
No.
But at some point, they'll stop being this hormonally influenced, and they'll be more rational people that you can then have a relationship with, and not just a parental relationship with. But that's gonna take time. Like you're walking into the fire.
Yeah, like Lily the other day texted me. I'm not even at her dad's house, and I guess Layla did something, and she's like blaming me for, why are you always sticking up for Layla? I'm not even there, and you're over here texting me, and she's fucking 10, and I'm like, oh, me and this girl we're gonna go at it. Like I can already feel it, because like, who are you talking to?
Right.
Like, no, I'm not even there. Like, she just reminds me so much of her dad sometimes.
She reminds me so much of you.
Really?
That is the monster you created, girl.
You used to tell me that all the time.
She would
Stop
do
it,
things.
stop
You
it.
mean my kids are just like me?
No, she would do things, and Amanda would just be like laughing, and she's like, "I love her so much."
She's
And
so
I'm like,
bad. You're like,
so
wait a
you.
minute.
Aiden has his petty moments where he'll say something like really like sassy and mean, and like on the outside I have to be like, Aiden, you don't say that, but inside I'm like, I would have done the same.
Yeah, and I try to tell them, like, yes, we have our like you can feel that way, you can do that, but
Right.
you're not allowed to say things out in public. You got to be cautious of what you're saying and who you're saying it to, because I mean, they're not used to being punched in the face, but back in our
Right.
days, you say certain things to certain people, you get punched.
Mhm.
They're just condo commandos.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
But I think you can take this time to, one, realize that you're holding on to things that are no longer the same, and figure out what is going to make you happier a year from now. Like, what are the things that you want to do right now that a year from now you can be like, I feel better about my life now.
And do one of them. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a whole. You're like having a moment about everything. You don't have to do everything different, but just say like, I really miss this thing I used to do. Because it doesn't even have to be a new thing. It could actually be something that somehow you forgot. Like sometimes you just forget. I forgot that I used to really love going to book readings at bookstores. I have no idea why I forgot that. It was something that fell out of my head, and I stopped checking online who was having an event, and then I was like, oh, I would love to go to one of those, and I had such a great time. Like sometimes it's that thing of where, when's the last time I went to a boxing place? I really love that boxing place. I want to go back to the boxing place, and that's the one thing.
Yeah, it just used to be easier, because when I would do that, right, like I would do it, during my lunch hour or during the day, I had a lot more flexibility than I'm having now. I still have some, but the kids are taking up my time more, so I would have to structure it at night, and then I want to be with my good.
So my big thing right now is your butt, or your why has to be bigger than your butt. Like, your why, your purpose, your reason has to be bigger than the buts and the excuses that you are telling yourself to keep yourself from doing the thing.
Things, yeah.
Oh, I want to do a boxing class, but I have the kids. I want to, I want to do something for myself, but work. Like, your reason has to be bigger than your butt.
You have to really actually want to do it. And I was telling somebody, ironically, too, about 09 and not 09. 9 round. And the whole concept of how convenient it is.
It was.
Because you could walk in at any time. And it's a 30-minute cycle, and you get the hell out of there. And so if you can't make that, then the problem is you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, tough love.
I spelled it.
Tough love.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just a lot. So you don't think I'm perimenopause or it's a midlife crisis?
Could be,
or
but also those things.
I'm okay.
but also it could be all of it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, because you're alive. Like, there's all kinds of things wrong with you. There's all kinds of things wrong with me.
That's what I was literally going to title today's podcast. Am I crazy?
Right.
Am I crazy for this? Am I crazy for that? And then I didn't want you guys to answer that, right? I'm not crazy.
I mean, who am I?
Right, to tell
call
me.
anybody crazy.
Touche.
Crazy?
Because we always look at like the outside, right? Like, oh, it looks like you have it so together, or oh, you have it.
Nobody does.
No, right?
Nobody does.
We all don't know. And I tell my kids that too. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never been almost 42 before, and then having teenagers. Like, no one tells you how to deal with this stuff and what to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why there's so many people who struggle way worse with harms that they do to themselves, because life is hard. Like, you just give yourself whatever chance you can give yourself to get it right, and hope for the best and do your best, and that's it.
So I'm gonna title this one actually like holiday crash,
Okay.
right? Because I
Post
think
holiday crash.
yeah, after all the holidays, all the hype, all the things, right? And then it's like, meh.
Yeah.
And then my birthday,
Yeah.
Yeah, so all the things.
Now you got what's the next big thing that you celebrate? Do you celebrate 4th of July? You got 6 months and nothing.
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm pretty
didn't
big on
even think that.
Valentine's Day.
Spring break. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's a
spring
thing.
break.
But
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day.
I mean,
But you don't like decorate your
their
house
whole
and
house.
have
I mean,
like
a little
parties
bit.
and stuff.
I might have like, so maybe I'll do a Galentine's or something, right? Like have something to look forward to.
That's
Have
cute.
another thing to do.
There you go. Look,
There
you
we
just
go.
did it right now.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Oh, we can decorate wine glasses.
Oh, that's fun.
That would be cute.
That's very cute.
I love that. I love crafting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do that. So, time up. Okay. So on our next episode, we'll let you know how our crafting went and if we really went through with it. And right, was it? No, yeah, because it'll be
I
enough
don't
time.
know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Whatever the next one is.
Yeah.
We're wanting to do another
Yeah, we never
theme,
even
like
did the
Mob
perfume
Wives.
thing.
Yeah. We don't know what it is yet, but hopefully we'll do something
Maybe they can submit ideas.
festive.
Yes,
Yeah,
please
why don't you
help
guys
us.
submit your ideas? What kind of topics, what kind of themes do you want to see us do? We would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Q&As.
And like
Yeah. Oh, and
subscribe.
we want to start a segment of things that our listeners, our followers, our subscribers submit because we've
Questions.
recently, questions or topics that you want us to talk about. And I actually have the first one. If you,
Yeah,
are you
let's
guys
do
okay?
it.
Okay, so I had a subscriber reach out and ask for advice about a certain topic that she had, and it was she was dating someone she worked with. She left the job on medical leave and they continued to date. When she returned, he broke up with her or she found out afterwards because he was messing with someone else at the same job who is
Aw.
married.
ooh.
So she wanted me to tell her if it's a good idea to reach out to her husband and tell her husband that
No.
they're having an affair. And I said, no.
Ooh.
First of all,
No.
you want your job, and that's a lot of drama that you're bringing in to your workplace. On top of that, it's your karma. Like, you don't waste your energy on bringing upon someone else like harm or
Right.
When the
pain or
snake bites
heartbreak.
you, chasing the
Yeah,
snake,
I
asking
was
the
like,
snake
things
why it bit
will
you.
work themselves out the way that they're supposed to. Don't insert yourself in
she's
that, and don't be
hurt.
the reason that someone else is hurt, because her husband is, an innocent bystander here. I don't know her
Right.
husband, but it's like you're hurting someone else to make yourself feel better. You're not going to feel better.
No.
And
gonna
also,
feel
you really
way
have to ask yourself why you want to tell him. Like, is it because
she's
would you,
hurt.
if you normally
You
knew,
fuck me, I'm gonna fuck you.
Yeah.
right? Like, if you normally knew that somebody was cheating on their husband, you just walk around life telling the husbands that they're being cheated on. No, in this particular situation, why are you wanting to do it? There's
Yeah. So
no good
my
comes of that.
advice was focus on yourself, focus on you getting better, focus on finding happiness outside of that. So that was my advice.
That's good advice.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Don't call that man. Don't call that man.
Don't
Yeah.
do it. I actually got a question too. It was about our salmon serum.
The salmon
Yeah,
sperm.
literally, they were like, "Are you serious?" Like, because I mean, not everyone knows. Not it's a trend, right? Like, it was pretty funny, and I was like, "Actually, it's a real thing, and it's not called salmon sperm. It's called
PDRN.
yeah, BDRN. Yes, but
AKA.
Salmon DNA, which is
yes, salmon sperm.
yes.
I was laughing, so I was like, "That really was a topic we were talking about, and that someone really had a question about."
It's so awesome that people are asking questions. I love
Yeah,
that.
and we love it. Like, we honestly read all the comments, we listen. So whatever you guys want us to talk about, if you have anything that you want advice on, we are not professionals.
We have
So if
no
it's
idea what
just
we're
girl
saying.
talk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely submit it.
Yeah. And
like
I,
and subscribe.
I had said that we could call it people want to know. Like, people want to know. I feel like that's cute. But if you guys have another idea, let us know. All right.
Yeah, I actually have my next topic. I was given advice on what someone
That
here,
is a good one.
yes, wanted to know our views on, and that was more on the in-laws
Yeah.
and
Relationships with in-laws.
in-laws.
Yeah.
Yes,
I also think, thinking of that question, that workplace romance is a good one to fall under, like, the work category.
I
Yeah.
married my biggest customer.
I know. That's an episode, girl.
Nailed it.
All right. Well, so then you got to come back, guys.
Yes, thank you again. Sorry if it's a little down. I'll get back up. I'll just
No,
go home and cry. And it'll be
no,
fine.
I feel like so many people. I feel like so much of like the super motivational stuff that exists around this time of year is because people are feeling down,
Mhm.
and we're not talking about the part where you're feeling down, and this is kind of like a void. Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I love it. I
I
love
agree.
this episode. I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
No.
I think everyone will too.
Yeah.
Aw, thanks, guys. I love you.
I love you.
So like and subscribe if you love us.
Yeah.
If you don't, you hate us.
Yes. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.